Hello, everyone, and good evening from a very cold and bleak Sweden. I see 8 persons are watching this. You are so welcome, and thank you so much for popping in. Can someone just write a comment? Okay, yeah, thank you so much. French Valley, hi, Jonas, hi. Hello from Thomas, tjena, and Christopher, hi. Yeah, today I got 2 packages. I'm running down with I'm going down with a cold. So I did a COVID test today, and it was negative. So I don't have COVID as for now, at least. But everyone around me are running down with colds. So excuse my my voice. Yeah, I got 2 big ass packages today. So I just wanted to do a live opening and chat a little bit about the records and stuff like that. What I was thinking when I sort of took them up in stock, and a little bit like the philosophy of running a record shop online, I guess. I don't know. So have a drink with me. This is Muddle IPA by a Swedish brand called Stigbergets, which, in my opinion, has never done a bad beer. This is my favorite brand when it comes to IPAs, at least. So cheers. Just a couple of days, like a handful of days before Christmas, and that's pretty insane. I just wanted to start by showing this because I just played this. I have never owned a copy of Satan is Real by the Leuven Brothers, but I've always wanted one. And original pressings are super rare and and hard to get and stuff like that. But I actually managed to. This was like a test, and I'm going to show more records by this brand, because this brand is called Sounds Good. Can you see it? Yeah. And it looks like Sounds Good is an official label for everything that I can tell, but it's definitely not like audiophile quality, not by a long shot. They are pretty cheap, or affordable, I should say. And you have, like, in this case, a gatefold with information. They even do which I think is pretty sucky, but they even paste a review from All Music on the backside. But I think that this is the equivalent of buying like a CD on vinyl. So I think that if you buy records by Sound Good, it's like owning the CD, but you have it on vinyl. They sound great. I've listened to 2 records now just to sample the sound quality, and I have to say I've listened to a lot more sort of more expensive and well-reviewed records that sounds worse than these, I have to say. But more of that later. I just want to show you that this is a masterpiece. Like, this is country folk, maybe. I don't know if it was done in the 50s. Yeah, 58. But it's like evil nerve to it. I can't really put my finger on what the hell is going on. I mean, discuss it in the comments, because if you know what I'm talking about, it's not a country record. It's not a sappy country record. They maybe it's the Christian sort of themes that makes it a little bit creepy. I don't know. It's a damn masterpiece, in my opinion. So yeah, let's go to the comments. Tobe, hi. A lot of you I've talked with just on Messenger the entire day. A good beer, yeah, from your hometown. And I should say that Gothenburg is one of the best beer cities in Europe. Is Satan real? Yeah, I think so. I think he's real, on record at least. Have the original? Yeah, of course you do. Oh, bastard! Oh shit! I think that I added that to my like Discogs want list 12 years ago. I don't know when I put it there. Like, I was pretty early when it came to logging my stuff on Discord, which also makes, like, when when you go back today on those first ones that you still have in your collection, they have sort of changed to Singapore pressings and stuff like that. So sometimes you have to go back and redo what you did. Okay, so records. Let's start with this. I got two records today from the Analog Productions 75 Atlantic audiophile series. This is the Shad Chasm sort of project that they are doing with Atlantic Records. I think they are going to release at least 75 records over a time period of 3 years or something like that. And this was actually in the first batch. I'm not going to open this myself. I'm not going to sample it. I don't even like this record. I mean, In the Air Tonight is a good song. There might be others, but it's not my bag. It's really a customer bought this and it took too long, so he wanted his money back. And a week later, it arrived. But what can you do? So I have a copy if anyone's interested. This is only they've only got license with the Phil Collins catalog until the end of the year, so this will be out of print. The rest of them will be in print, I guess, over the following years or something like that. They are not cheap, especially not in Europe, but they are expensive in the States also. What more? This is cut by I think this is cut by Ryan K. Smith, but I might be mistaken. Someone in the comment section knows what I'm talking about. And yeah, okay, yeah. So comment on the release. I got this today, and they are already on phase 3 with the Atlantic 75 series. So the flow of records from the States to Europe is insane. I mean, it's months past the release date on this one. I got the John Prine record that I ordered for myself, so I could review it. I got that like 2 weeks ago, but that was the first and only one that was shipped until now. This came, as I said, today, along with this one. And John Prine and Phil Collins were from phase 1. From phase 2, so released or not released, but sent at the same time, was Dr. John. And this is from phase 2, which includes Selling England by the Pound by Genesis, which I think, I might be wrong here, but I think that is one of the most anticipated Atlantic 75 series releases. Audiophile pressing of the Genesis catalog is finally in the works, and I know that Tobbe already has it, so you can probably ask Tobbe the sound quality and stuff like that in the comments, and his take on it. Spoiler alert, it's great when you talk with Tobbe, and that's what we want. Now, this is a copy that I want to do a review of, but I'm not going to open it on air. I'm going to wait till I'm going to play it. But this is actually I don't know if you can see, but it's a trifold thing, so a little bit more exclusive than the other standard like 2 LP sets. And this was strange that it doesn't say who mastered it, because they have been so remixed, recording engineer, design at go, all that good shit. No. Okay. Anyway, Dr. John is an artist that I've just started to venture into, because I bought the Grigri record like a long time ago, listened to it twice, didn't like it at all, sold it, and never went into Dr. John again until now. Cheers. I'll do a little more and then I'll go to the comments, see if there's any questions. I mean, you guys, you can have your discussions, and I try to participate if there's something that I can participate in. Other than that, I'm just like and other than that, I'm just like going to answer questions. Otherwise, we're gonna be here all night. Okay, so also new in the shop is McCoy Tyner. I actually added all the, not all, but the most recent, at least, like maybe a year back, going back, of the Blue Note records in the shop, which is awesome. The margins on the Blue Note stuff is insanely low. So I think like on a Tone Poet, if I have the price I have today, which is equal to other stores in Sweden, so I'm not cheaper or anything, but I think I have like 20 Swedish crowns for selling one of one of these. The margins is that bad, but at the same time, having a shop, being able to put this up in that shop, I mean, it's just like feels good. True Blue, Tina Brooks. This is one of the new ones. I don't know if this is, I think last month. So maybe this is the November release and the next ones are the December releases. Anyway, True Blue by Tina Brooks is one of, if not I think the most expensive and rarest Blue Note record that you can get. People are talking about 20, 30, 50, 40,000 euro for an original press of this. And there is a YouTube channel. If you're not a subscriber to him, please go there and subscribe, because the knowledge and the information that he provides is just insane. But he's called What Can Brown. He's on Instagram also, but he has a YouTube channel now. He does a like 40 minutes review of this particular press, but talking about why it didn't sell and stuff like that. And I think there was like Francis Wolff or someone, if it was Francis Wolff or I think no, or Rudy Van Gelder, I can't remember, but one of the top dogs on Blue Note didn't like Tina Brooks's playing. And the first review that came out gave it 2 stars out of 5, slaughtering it. But it was kind of new at the time, a little bit on the edge. So they didn't really understand it. And nowadays it's a classic. This is, and sought after and all that shit. So Tina Brooks, Freddie Hubbard, Sam Jones, Art Taylor, and Duke Jordan. Fantastic lineup. Great record. And finally, a audiophile pressing that you can buy for like 350 Swedish crowns or 35 euro or whatever it's called, without shelling out like $100 on a Japanese press from 70s, something like that. Next one, Sonny Rollins, Nuke's Time. I've never heard this, so this is going to be a nice one because I'm late to the game with Sonny Rollins. I actually never really liked his playing before, but maybe like 2 years ago, something happened and I just love his tone on the saxophone. Wayne Kelly, Dodd Watkins, and Phil Joe Jones on drums. So awesome to be able to listen to that and also give it a proper review later on my channel. And the last one that I got from Blue Note is Grant Green with Green Street, Ben Tucker bass, and Dave Bailey on drums. So a trio setting. Yeah, cool. I think I've heard this, but so Around Midnight is on here, classic. So yeah, that's the Blue Notes. Let's go to the comments section field. I don't know what it's called. Let's see here. Hey Jonas, I like Lone Brothers, honestly, irrespective of beliefs. Okay, cool. A lot of greetings, happy holidays. Yeah. So any questions, just write questions and I'll jump on those. Otherwise, you just talk in the group, talk with each other, and have a beer with me. Skål. So rich. We are dropping. I'm talking too much. Only 16 watching. I thought Rollins was a bit overrated. Yeah. Then I started to purchase some jazz records and listen a lot to him. Great stuff. That's exactly what I did. I had like 2 Rollins records. I got another one. I wasn't that impressed. It was a little bit too laid back for me or something like. But then it just hit me. So now I'm getting most of what I can. Continue on showing records. That's why you're here. This was a cheapo. I don't know what I bought this for, but I think I have it on like 220, 250 Swedish crowns, something like that. And it's not often nowadays that you can buy records for that. And this is, dare I say, obscurity. This is Carol and Hester. Carol and Hester were in a band called, let's see here. Yeah, help me out here. Aldebaran with her husband. Anyway, and this record is, I think it's hard to get in original press nowadays. It's a folk record. She does some traditional folk tunes, some covers. And Dink's Song. Try that on Spotify. Write Dink's Song and just start from the beginning and go through them, because I noticed that song the first time when I saw Inside Llewyn Davis with the Coen Brothers. That Coen Brothers did. They do a version there. Isaac, whatever it's called now. Anyways, fantastic song. A lot of the classic folk people did it back in the day. Once I had a sweetheart, Swing and Turn Jubilee. Yeah, it's gonna be nice to sink my teeth in this, and it's on something called Troubadour, a record label I have no idea about. Write in the comments or in the chat if you know anything about Troubadour. Continuing on, I think I showed this before, but I stocked up because this was also cheap to get. I think I have it at 250 or something like that. But Fillmore Lincoln, the North Wind Blue South. I think that if you want the press in nice condition, you have to at least shell out maybe 60, 70 euro, something like that, to get a good copy. Maybe at least. I got it for like that price, my original press, many years ago. But yeah, Sunshine, Psych, maybe a little bit like that. Pop Psych. I love it. Like, it's one of my favorites when it comes to that little more melodic Psych. I've sold 2 of these, so I stocked up on one more because it's one that is very easy to love, isn't it? If you're into the kind of music that I'm into, when it comes to that psychedelic heavy psych stuff, this is a compilation to die for. And I actually, it was together with Thomas and that crew that I got into this. They played this for me, and my mind was like blown. Can't remember. One of them didn't have it, so I bought one for them. Anyways, Acid Nightmares, Warfaring Strangers, and I think that this also is, I don't know if it's a gatefold of sorts. Yeah, it's a gatefold, and it's just as insane looking on the inside as on the outside. Look at that cover. It's a cover to die for. I've seen this in other YouTube videos back in the day when it was released, like 2-3 years ago, maybe. But when I held it in my hand, like really, and we spun it, the colors are just so vibrant. Like, it's really hitting you. So cool. Numero Group, great label. This was also one that I got together with another one, and it wasn't that. This I haven't even put this up in the shop yet. Heavy Psych Sounds, Sonic Flower. I think it's a like Japanese psych group. Maybe I read something about it. It was with the price was right. I thought that that is one that I should put in stock. So Sonic Flowers, Cosmic Highway, Black Sunrise. Check it out. I don't even know how it sounds now, but this I do. Demons and 11 Children, Blues Creation, classic Jap rock, isn't it? Like, I think that I almost bought a second press of this but I hesitated because the second press is not a gatefold, if I remember it correctly. So I didn't get it. But the first press is insane. So hard to get. I bet Tobbe has it. Like, just wait a minute and we'll see. Demon and 11 Children, Bruce Creation. It feels like one of those, like, so, okay, if you start a shop and you want to sell psychedelic music, then there are some core stuff that you are sort of expected to have in your shop. I believe, like maybe 13th Floor Elevators, Sergeant Pepper, Odyssey and Oracles, The Doors, maybe, like what average Joe knows about. But if you have gone a little bit further down the rabbit hole, I guess that you sort of stumbled over this. So this feels even more like one of those must-haves in the shop than Sergeant Pepper in one way. I want, like, when people are browsing through my shop, I want them to stumble upon this, like seeing this and turning people into this sort of music gives me so much more than on the standard stuff. That's great too, but you know what I mean. So yeah, cheers. Ooh, new arrival, Stigberget model IPA, really good. Let's see here, some questions. Any questions? I'll have a cup of tea here. Yeah, if you have an extra Tina Brooks, I'm interested. You just hook me up later on, Thomas, and we'll sort that out. It's no problem. I thought Ronnie's was a bit over it. Yeah. I'm having a tomtegröt. Is that a legit substitute for beer? Definitely. I think that you could even, like, isn't gröt like mesh that you could do like beer out of gröt. I don't know. Let's see here. Thomas says, do I have a Where Faring Strangers Waiting for Me? Can't remember. No, you don't. No, I have to look. I have like 2 crates of stuff that people has on just on pile. So I'll look. Nice, that's a Melody Dream for sure. I think that you mean Film of Lincoln. Film Art and the Dung is something else. Sorry. Let's see here. Toby writes, I thought you had an original. No, I have the second press of Blues Creation on Blow Up. First press is top dollar. Yeah, it is. Yeah, someone besides me ordered a Wayfair Strangers. I think it was like Thomas or another guy called Jonas. So I don't think you have one, Toby, but I'll check and we can order one if you need one. Yeah, continuing on. These are cool. I'm late to the game of Brazilian music, and it feels like Brazilian music is also one of those rabbit holes that is unnecessary to go down, because when you go down that sort of route, you are screwed, like, because there are so much great music. And I've been told, like, so when I started to look into Mr. Bongo, I think they are from the UK. I might be wrong. Definitely a European reissue label. They have so many classic Brazilian soul, Latin, psych, jazz records that it's just insane. So I wanted to check some of them out, and then also stock up on some of the more like known and sort of classic titles. And this is Arthur Veroskai. I don't know how to pronounce that, but this was one of those records that I really wanted to check out. And this has it all, man. It's jazzy. It's a little bit psychedelic. It's definitely that Latin feel to it. I don't know how to describe Brazilian music, to be honest. I'm not that. I haven't read up that much on it. And the audio quality is okay. Like, it's not the best sound quality I've ever heard in my life, but it's okay. And for the price also, I mean, they are sort of a little bit lower than standard price, I think, when it comes to reissues nowadays. Gatefold set, 180 gram. Yeah, as I said, sounds good. I actually also I took one of these because I think there's like 5 volumes or something like that with this. So this is Mr. Bongo flexing their muscles, just showing what they have in their sort of catalog. So Record Club Volume 1. So this is a compilation, 2 record set, I think. Yeah, 2 record set of stuff from their artists, like 15-track compilation featuring some of our favorite discoveries and sought after obscurities by Nino Export Sun, Connie Laverne, Barbosa, and Cortex. So stuff like that. I thought like maybe someone wants to dive into Mr. Bongo, and then I'll have a compilation of sorts. Pedro Santos, I haven't heard this, never heard this, but I recognize the cover artwork. I actually saw an Instagram post today from Dust and Grooves, where the guy that they featured held this reissue in front of the camera. So Dust and Grooves approves. But if you're interested in any of these Brazilian records, just check them out. Ultra rare Brazilian masterpiece, a rich blend of folk, samba, Afro-Brazilian, and psychedelic sonics. I mean, it sounds pretty good. This Ritual, this is great. I've sampled it. Haven't heard the vinyl, but I can't imagine that it sounds worse than anything else on Mr. Bongo. So A-OK. Nico Gomez, Ritual, one of the greatest Latin and Afro-funk albums in its era, made in Belgium. Original release in 71. What a great album cover. Like, you could paint your walls with these Brazilian covers. Let's do one more. This is 77 Cuban Psychedelic Rarity by Grupo de Yogi. Psychedelic funk masterpiece from 77. Also Mr. Bongo, so not Brazilian, obviously. But one that if you go a little bit further down the rabbit hole when it comes to psychedelic music and those sort of obscure classics, like this is on all those lists. It feels like that anyway, where the original pressings are super hard to get, and even the reissues is starting to fetch some pretty good coin. Got a call them later. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, another Brazilian classic. This is India by Gal Costa. Replica original gatefold sleeve with the cover originally banned by the Brazilian military regime in 1973, and I can understand why. Here's the backside. It's such an iconic, like, I don't know. It's sexy, definitely. Is it objectifying? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it was her choice to have this on the front cover. Did it sell more records back in the day and today? Probably. Is the music fantastic? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If you're new to this, I'm going down with a cold. I think I have a fever and my voice is kind of shut, but let's continue on. This is also Mr. Bongo. This is Japanese jazz rock. I won't slaughter the names. Yeah, okay, I can do that. Tado Sawai and Kazui Sawai and Husan Yamamoto and a bunch of guys. Rare 1973 album combining spiritual jazz, funky break beats, drumming, and traditional Japanese minyo music. I thought when I read that, and I think I sampled it also before I ordered it to the stock, I thought like this is also one of those, like if I go into a shop, browse the inventory, see that record, and the artwork intrigues me and I start reading about it, like traditional Japanese instruments blended with jazz and break beats. Was that it? funky breakbeat drumming, I would at least sample it. Modolo 1000 Neofale Comparedes, also one of those I've seen but never heard. Raw, heavy, experimental Brazilian psychedelic rock from 72. A lost gem with echoes of early Black Sabbath. Suck on that. And this is a trifold. Looks like it's like a trifold. Shit, I think I need to play this. Okay. And I think the last from Mr. Bongo, Didi Bridgewater, Afro Blue, jazz and soul legend, who worked with Roy Ayers, Norman Connors, Billy Parker, debuted deep soul jazz masterpiece from 74, recorded in Tokyo. Again, a cover artwork that I've seen and sort of been intrigued with. I think it's a classic, and again, one that if you go into the shop, if you see this in stock, I think that it will spark an interest. Like, cheers. I should drink tea or something like that instead of beer. Let's see here. Let's go to the comments. Yeah, you guys are really chatting it up today. That's great. Yeah, hi Jens. Awesome to see you here. Me and Jens saw Neil Young back in the day when he was out with, it was in Stockholm, I think. And the last encore, he asked the audience if we wanted to hear Cowgirl in the Sand, Rockin' in the Free World. I can say with confidence that 90% of the audience were idiots and picked Rockin' in the Free World when we had the opportunity to hear Cowgirl in the Sand. So, yeah. Blues Creation is insanely good. Yeah, that it is. Let's see here. The Art of Varosky is a freaking masterpiece. I agree. That's one of the few Brazilians that I've heard now, but it was really, really good. Mr. Bongo is a jam. The Bongo Cloud comps are all killers. Maybe I'll see if it sells. It would be cool to add more of those compilations to the inventory, and later on also sample them and stuff like that. Can you get the Pop of Blues? I think I looked into that. I'll contact you later on, Christopher. We'll see if we can. I don't know if it's been re-released now in modern times. Yeah, Modolo 1000 is killer. Both Tobbe and New Sounds and Old said it's just the same second. Tjena Jonas, Vinyl Stockholm is in the house. Yeah, it was down by the river. You exactly, not Cowgirl in the Sand. It was down by the river. Yeah, it was a disappointing moment for sure. I think that like the Freedom record is one of the most overrated record in this history of music. It's just okay. Yeah. I'll continue on. So another pile. Again, some cheaper sort of records that I want to check out. I think that I read that some of these had gotten pretty good reviews for what it is. This is Quincyism. Yeah, exactly like that. Saved from the dust of time, here is a truly rare and obscure piece of vinyl by one of the most enigmatic bands in the whole history of British progressive jazz. Originally released in 200 copies in 73 and reissued here for the first time. So again, with the cover artwork also on that backside, look at that. You want to be in that studio. Is it a studio? Yeah. Saxophones, flugelhorns, bass, guitars, keyboards, and drums. Everything you want. And also vocals. So I think that this is also one of those like 250 Swedish crowns or something like that. And again, it's not often nowadays that you get any sort of record for under 350. Like I went to Bengans in Gothenburg a famous store in Gothenburg or Sweden. They have an online shop also. They are great, have a great inventory, but they, like many other, has to put a pretty big price tag on the records. And I shit you not, I don't think that there were any records below 400 Swedish crowns. Like maybe one or two for 350, something like that. It's just like, I mean, Taylor Swift's latest record, like 400 plus crowns. It's just insane. It's not her fault. It's just like with the Swedish crown at the moment being as it is and stuff like that. So it's just like, if you want records, you have to shell out for them. But it's nice to find pretty nice sounding records, interesting records that doesn't cost 500 Swedish crowns. This is also one of them that I thought it was interesting. It's not super expensive. Extradition with Hush. Released in a small run of local independent label Sweet Peach in 1971, the self-titled album of this Australian band stands out as one of the most accurate acid folk renditions outside of UK realm. Formerly a three-piece band, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. Also, again, super intriguing. I think I sampled this. It sounded great. So, also one of those records that it feels like if I have it in my shop, if people stumble upon it, it says something about the shop. And I want that feeling, like I would want if I went into an online shop. Irma Thomas, not from the same label, but from the same label I'm going to show you later on. It's called Real. And if anyone has any information or erfarenhet, I don't know what it's called in English. Please let me know in the comments. Okay, so after singing with the Canyon label in 1970, Irma Thomas began working with producer and composer Jerry Swamp Dog Williams. The demise of Canyon forced the late releases of this record, which was eventually issued on Williams something record. Man, I'm getting old. I can't even read to mark the 50th anniversary of this record's first release. It's reissued here on heavyweight turquoise colored vinyl. Oh my god. Irma Thomas, maybe this is heavy psych, but I think it's sold. I'm pretty sure it's sold. So yeah. Same label, Sue. I think this is, if I remember correctly, it's a little bit like progressive. The Sue presents Chocolate Mousse. This record sees its first official vinyl reissue in over 4 decades. An essential piece of psych rock history featuring guitarist Howard Leach of Heart. Pressed on limited edition 180-gram psychedelic marbled vinyl, only 1,000 copies. And I think that this also is like a 250 Swedish crown record. Something like that. It's up in the shop. So, but nice one, official. And last but not least, from this one, this is also Real. And this is, let's just read here. The Sweet Inspirations, available for the first time since 1979, reissued on a 180-gram gold vinyl, limited edition, hand-numbered copies, only 1,000 available. This is number 257. And if I understood correctly, this is one of those like, yeah, holy grails. You are now holding one of the true holy grails of 70s soul. And I sampled it. Because soul, I understand a little bit. More than Brazilian, at least. And it was really good. Okay. Okay, so the next label is a little dodgy, to say the least. I don't know. I bought 4. I'm planning on listening to at least one of them that I can compare. I have reissues of one original press and one that I have an early reissue on. So I want to compare with the sound quality, because the sound quality in this means everything. I don't think that these are official reissues. But please let me know in the comments and in the chat if you have any experience of this label. We are talking about Tiger Bay Records, and in this case, it's where Fortune Smiles with Mahavishnu Orchestra or John McLaughlin. So remastered edition of 1971 album performed by the legendary Enterprise, consisting of John McLaughlin on guitar, John Sermon on reeds, Carl Berger on vibes, Stu Martin on drums, and Dave Holland on bass. And this is one of the best fusion records out there. I say fusion, I pause at fusion because it's heavier than that. I mean, it's almost like if you listen to enough fusion, it goes towards the more 70s, like funkier fusion stuff. But this is equal to heavy metal. Like when it comes to fusion, they are insane. Like when Mahavishnu Orchestra were at their best, no one could even come close to Mahavishnu Orchestra. And John McLaughlin's playing has always been my favorite guitar playing. It's definitely jazz guitar, but with a big splash of rock. Cheers. And maybe free also. From the same label, Tiger Bay, I also took a chance. Let's say that. I took a chance on Tangerine Dream Electronic Meditation. So again, not that expensive. I think this is also like a 250 Swedish crown record. Electronic Meditation is the first album by Tangerine Dream and the only one to feature the lineup of Edgar Froese, Konrad Schnitzel, and Klaus Schulze. The album was recorded entirely inside an abandoned factory. So kraut, it's almost like, it's almost Spinal Tap kind of thing with kraut. It's so much kraut, it's too much kraut. Yeah. So ask me questions. I'm going to the comments section after these two. The next one I have, I think late 80s or early 90s reissue of this, also with the Gimme cover. But this is Tooth with Deviants, I think. The Tiger Bay edition restores the original panel fold-out poster cover with liner notes by John Peel. So I think that this is like, it folds out to a big-ass poster. My reissue did that too. Clear vinyl special edition following the release of Disposal earlier this year. Tiger Bay returns with another album by UK psychedelic rock band The Deviants. Band's debut album. So yeah, classic. This is so classic. You can never get an original press of that. So you have to go to the secondhand market. And with the gimmick covers and all that good jazz. The only thing that is left is, how does this sound? I have no idea. It would be cool to compare it with my other press. And the last one on Tiger Bay that I took a chance on is this one. This is Open Spaces with CMU. Also known as Contemporary Music Unit, this sextet from Cambridge was an interesting progressive soft rock, folk rock band who also incorporated blues rock, jazz rock, and psychedelic influences, and whose main point of difference was the really nice vocals of Lorraine O'Dell. Sounded intriguing. Had to get it in the shop. Let's go to the questions. I don't think there is any. Thomas says, Pablo's Blues recorders was reached 2017. Oh, I have most of them, but missing two. I have to check that out. Yeah, Christopher, we'll talk after this. The second Papa's Blues has such a great cartoon cover. I have the original. Let's see here. Told you I have the original of Aero Blues. Such a killer record. My favorite Papo. Okay, so Papo is in the comments. That is great. Papo gets his love. I have a pretty nice pack of records left, but I'm going to show you something that obviously I'm putting it up in the shop, but I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try because I love this stuff. So I'm thinking like, why not take stuff that you love and try to do it that commercially feasible? Is that a name for it? So I'm putting up some music related movies, like not music related movies like Hair and Dirty Dancing, like documentaries and or concerts, but especially documentaries, because music documentaries is one of those things that I have always loved watching. And when it comes to streaming nowadays, I don't feel like there is any streaming service that provides a solid, good foundation of music documentaries. I have been a customer for Cello. I think that is the name of it, Cello, for many years, but there hasn't happened much to that. So when you are through with the documentaries on Cello, that's it. Like, they don't put anything new out. And other than that, you can watch a Taylor Swift concert from 3 years ago or something like that. But DVDs, just like CDs nowadays, and Blu-rays actually, is insanely inexpensive. Like, really cheap. I think that these now, like buying these, I think with the DVDs, this one, for example, I think it's like 50 Swedish crowns to buy this. So obviously I have to make some money on it. But this is Which We Intend to Cause Havoc. Never seen this, but Which We Intend to Cause Havoc traces the history of the reformation of Zambia's most popular rock band of the 70s. So Sam Rock documentary. I mean, and I don't know. I don't think you can stream this on any Swedish platform. Correct me if I'm wrong. So for like, say I'll take like 70 Swedish crowns for this or something like that, and it's yours forever in the shelf. Same goes with this. This was also one of those like really cheap Jacob Astorius documentary featuring Sting, Flea, Joni Mitchell, Santana. Great one. I read a book on Pastorius, but I also saw this when it came out. Great documentary, cheap as hell, and when you have it in your shelf, it's there forever. The Creation Records Story Upside Down. Again, I think that this was like 50 Swedish crowns or something like that. Creation Records gave us, who was on Creation? Jesus and the Mary Chain, Oasis, and others. Anyways, this was a little bit more. Like maybe I had to pay like €10 to buy it for the shop. But Blue Note Records, A Story of Modern Jazz on Blu-ray. I mean, again, maybe you can buy it as iTunes thingy, but it's still streamed. Better sound quality, better picture quality. Same goes with this. This was a little bit more, I think maybe €15 to buy this or something like that. But Miles Davis, Birth of the Cool, this has been on Netflix forever, and maybe it's still up there. But I wanted one for the shop. I wanted one for myself also, because it comes with a booklet. It's on Blu-ray, so you have the extra nice picture quality. And in this, you have some of my legendary performances at Montreux. So I think there's 3 Montreux concerts from 73 to 85. And also, one day, I bet this won't be on a streaming service. And if I am hungry for Miles Davis documentary, I will regret not having it in the shelf. And this is the last one that I'm going to show you today. That is in stock in the shop. This The Blues. Martin Scorsese presents a series of 7 uplifting films by world famous directors who shares a passion for blues music. So I don't think that I've never seen this. Maybe I've seen some of the Clint Eastwood directed one, but I don't think that it's like primarily the history of blues, like the Ken Burns documentary on jazz. Like that was chronological all the way to the 90s, I think. I don't think that it's that. It's more like a tribute by them, but I might be wrong. And again, I think that I have this in shop for maybe like 300 Swedish crowns, something like that, and you get hours and hours of great quality documentary. So yeah, that's one leg. The other leg is actually books. So as you know, I collect music related books. I love to collect them. I wish I could read them all one day, maybe when I'm retired. So I was thinking that, like, why not offer some books in the shop? This is one of them that I bought for the shop, In Search of the Lost Chord, 1967, and The Hippie Idea. So I think that Danny Goldberg, in this case, ventures through 1967 with all its ups and downs, not only musically, but politically in the States. Nice pictures. I think it's a good read. The other one that I picked for the shop is Out of Our Heads, Rock and Roll Before the Drugs Wore Off. George Case, in this case, who wrote the biography of Jimmy Page. I think that this is also a really good read. A lot of great photos, and yeah. So one chapter is called Dark Side of the Moon. And one is called Harvest, Break On Through, and so forth. And the last one, and this is a cool one. I bought this at Bengans. I think I paid like 150 Swedish crowns or something like that for it. So that's probably what I'm gonna charge for it. But this is a great book, The Vinyl Age, a guide to recording collecting now. It's the first book that I've ever read about collecting records, and not only like the sort of the obsession with record collecting, but also different genres and stuff like that, obviously, but the sort of economics in collecting. And also because the guy who wrote this owns a record shop, and they have gathered statistics from, I don't know how many years, but many, many years. So they really have data on collecting. So this is a statistics view of record collecting. And it's cheap, and it's very well written, and it's on hard book. Just like with movies, books don't have to be super expensive. There are nuggets that you can, like raisins, you can pick from the vetebulle and enjoy. Cheers. Hey, a question. Woohoo! Look at this. Samrock. It's called Witch. We Intend to Cause Havoc. Never seen it. Have no idea. But yeah. So it's gonna be nice to see if anyone is interested in like buying physical movies nowadays. So I'm not going to stock up on on much, but if I stumble upon stuff for great prices, stuff like that I can put up in the shop, then I will. Okay, were there any other questions? Thank you so much. I hope, fingers crossed, that it's a good idea. Got the same problems with books, as you said, on day after retirement. Yeah, it's hard to find time reading, I have to say. Like, I think I have, I'm not even gonna, I have a lot that I haven't read. Let's just say that. So we started off this live stream with showing the Lewin Brothers Satan is Real. It's here. This was a gatefold. And as I said, with today's vinyl prices, these comes out fairly cheap. I think I have them at around 250 Swedish crowns, something like that. And my estimation on this, and also based on the next one I'm going to show you, because I've sampled two. I want to listen to them before I put them up and recommended them. But they sound great, like really, really great. They are not, absolutely not audiophile quality, not by a long shot, but you have good separation, you have clear voices, you have clear instruments. The vinyl is quiet, it's good looking, and all that shit. So Satan is Real was the first one that I showed in this live stream. I played this also today to a sample. Dave Van Ronk, folk singer. All song sounds good, and I'll show you how it looks. So a standard jacket, nothing to sort of write home about, but standard like everything else. Again, I don't like that they did this all music review on the backside. But then again, with these records, it's so obvious that it's not a reproduction of the original. Like they aren't even trying. Like they have the front of it, but the backside is something completely different, and the label. So why not do something completely different? I respect it for what it is, and I like that they left the front, at least the cover artwork, traditional. All of the records that I have tested, the two, comes with polylined inner sleeves. 180 gram vinyl, not a scratch, not a mark. Sometimes when it comes to, for example, Blue Note records, you can see the dead fill. I think that is the name for it. But in this case, looks lush. It's flat. It's dead quiet, which I think is proof that it's a digital file or a CD or something like that, because it is dead quiet. Like in between songs and during the songs, it's really, really quiet, but sounds great. So for the prices, I think that they are good listening records when you're looking for, or if you're looking for something else, like a reissue, older reissue, or an original press or something like that. So I have another one from Dave Van Ronk, folk singer. As I said before, with one of the records, the Hester. Dink's song was on that one. It's also on this one. Dink's song, 7th song, one of the bonus tracks on this one. And the hype sticker has a small quote from Tom Waits about the record. But they also have this, like the Quest Mal Waldron with Eric Dolphy and Booker Irvin, classic jazz record of new jazz. I think it was released from the first time. I don't doubt that this. I think that this is gonna sound good, like pretty good, equal to any sort of CD that you have. But you have it on vinyl. You have line notes by Nat Hentoff, Downbeat review, All Music review, Mal Waldron, Brooke Irvin, Eric Dolphy, Ron Carter, Joe Benjamin, and Charlie Persip. From the same, you have a Max Roach record, It's Time, his chorus and orchestra, composed and arranged by Max Roach. In this case, it's a gatefold, but they don't charge more for that. Obviously, Impulse. So I question the legitimacy of this. But at the same time, I know that Blue Note and Impulse have got some pretty sketchy, because in some countries it's okay to make a profit out of F after some years. I don't know. Anyway, it sucks if the artist doesn't get their money. So I hope they do, but in this case, I don't think they do. Walt Dickerson, To My Queen, sampled this, sounded like a good one. So, and it was fairly cheap. Stereo Drive, the Cecil Taylor Quintet, another one that is just like, why do you reissue this instead of anything else. But I bet that they saw a gap in the jazz community. Archie Shepp and Bill Dixon Quartet, classic free jazz record. And remember, Dave Van Ronk, Satan is Real, and this on the same label. Just like, and also this one, Out of View with George Russell Sextet. This is a classic. Don Ellis, Steve Swallow on bass, Peter LaRocca on drums, Chia Jordan on vocals. Great one. Great. This series, I wish I had all the original pressings of that. I don't. Any questions? Nope. Let's move on. Last ones, then I'm going to let you go. Is there anyone? Yeah, 22 watching. This was actually one that I bought for myself because this was, I think it was on sale or something like that. Anguish. Look at that cover. I haven't seen a cool cover like that since I first saw Message from Books and Dreams. This is a cool ass looking cover, isn't it? So you have Will Brooks, Mats Gustafsson, Hans Joachim Irmler, Mike Mayer, and Anders Verlin. Great free jazz setting. It's going to be awesome to sink my teeth in this one. And also up in the shop is the Superior Viaduct. I think that's the name of it. Superior Viaduct, yeah. Releases of the classic jazz releases. Baby, In Corset at Yale University, and Normal. And these are, I mean, I don't think it's audiophile quality, but it's audiophile tendencies at least. Like, yeah. So original release 77, Baby is the seminal statement of Milford Graves' free jazz trio, featuring the drummer's singular polyrhythmic approach, along with aesthetic wailing of saxophone, Arthur Doyle, and Hugh Glover. Line notes by John Corbett. Insert with artist interviews, and liner notes by John Corbett. So yeah, great free jazz records. Also one that is out there, and one that I actually got for myself. So a review is coming up with this one, and I know Thomas knows this because he recommended this to me. Bobby Gentry, Ode to Billy Joe, the Southern Gothic masterpiece Ode to Billy Joe by American singer-songwriter Bobby Gentry, would top the Billboard albums charts in 1967. Its first single, the album title track, has topped the US pop charts. Limited edition, 1,000 copies. So this is going to be awesome to check out. So thanks for the recommendation, Thomas. And I think that's it. 1 hour and 3 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up soon. If you have any questions, let me know. Obviously, if you're interested in something, just PM me or seek me out on, let's see here. You have, but we are all friends here, so who am I kidding? But you can like go to my Instagram here. Yeah. And PM me if you want something, if you're not in Sweden. Otherwise, you know, my shop, sublimemedia.se. Easy peasy. Let's go to the comments, and then I'll let you go. Nothing at all. Okay. So I'll see you in the future when I get another big pile of records to show. So now I'm going to pack up some records to beautiful people that is going to receive them hopefully before Christmas. Have a great day, everyone. And thank you so much for participating in this. It's fun. Bye.